I'm literally the worst. I think it's been probably 4 months since I did the last video. But one of the realities of doing a home renovation is that you're just so worried about getting stuff done that you're really not thinking about documenting it. And that's one of my weaknesses. But we've done a lot since we had the last video. So I wanted to take you guys through. So something pretty awesome that happened was we had the front door stripped, and then I spent about 10 hours sanding, scraping, and staining, and now we have it back to the original, and it's really pretty. If you ever are thinking about stripping doors by yourself, I would just suggest you have someone who's got the setup do it on their own, because it's gonna be fantastic for them to do it. What? So last time you saw everything, we were pretty torn apart. We had just done demo. Unfortunately, what I did not document for you guys was the process of reframing everything. So let me first kind of walk you through a little bit about what we did. What's up? Today it's time to find out if we actually have brick behind the studio fireplace. So you've seen in walkthroughs before that within the studio room, we have this nice little fireplace. And what I want to see is if we actually have, I'm sure we do, brick chimney behind it. I want to expose it going all the way up to the picture rail. We have spotted brick. Look at that beautiful little ray of sunshine. Don't worry, buddies, we'll get you all exposed. We have brick. My glasses are fogging up. I look like a ghost and I'm really dirty. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. Come into the studio area. I have all of the brick here exposed. So I took the plaster off, went ahead and had the mantle stripped. And a big change in here, I don't know if you remember, there used to be a closet and a weird thing going on there. We walled all of this up, did 2 built-in bookcases, and then we've got sconces going above them. And then over here, this didn't exist before, we have like a 6x8 closet, and that is gonna be the vocal booth for the studio room. Another crazy thing that we did is we had them drill in between each stud and put insulation in. So that's why you're gonna see all the patchiness up at the top. Come from the studio. And the front room is still pretty much the same, but hey! The whole middle section of the house is where we really did a lot of framing and a lot of work. There used to be a bathroom straight ahead. I don't know if anyone remembers that. This doorway wasn't there. And so what this is gonna be is the new kitchen. So it'll be along these 2 walls. And then fridge will be in the corner. We'll have an island in the middle. That right there with the ladders is where our pantry is going to be. And we created this new door here. I'll take you into this first. This doorway was here originally, but you could only get to it from the master bedroom, which you could only get to from the porch. So we really just kind of redid the whole flow of the house. And added in, I mean, there's no lights in here right now, but we added in a hall bath.
And when we have electricity, I'm gonna show you because we got marble tile in there and it's just absolutely beautiful. So beautiful. But this will be the master bedroom. Our master bathroom and closet area, we're gonna do that in like a phase 2. So right now we just clean this up. So here in the corner, we had the closet that came at an angle and the bed was against that. So there was a closet in the middle of the room. There was a built-in closet there. That was existing. That was a door to the laundry room area, which we expanded and turned it into the hall bath. And then this used to be the only way you could get into the room and from the back porch. So we closed that off. So now our bed will be on this wall and we're gonna have sconces. And then we've got, you know, a nice, beautiful focal point of the fireplace. So I am very excited about that. And that right there is the return vent. We actually had to redo all of the HVAC in the house and we had to add more returns. So that was fun. Okay, so coming from the master bedroom, again on the left is the hall bath, straight ahead will be the kitchen. And then this in here is a living room area. This used to be the old kitchen. It was really, really dark. Right there, you couldn't really see this cute little window because there was a butler's pantry here. And it was original, but it didn't really work with the house anymore, so we took it out, but we left the cute little window. And the way to get into the kitchen used to be right there, and it used to be that transom. So we moved the transom from here to there, kept this open so that we had a really nice flow. If you guys remember the old bathroom off of the dining room, it actually used to be right there. And there wasn't any existing wood floor there, so we put a new subfloor in. And I thought, hey, instead of like lacing it in everywhere else, why don't we kind of do something neat? So this is a herringbone pattern, kind of looks like a rug. I think it'll be neat when it's all said and done. And yeah, this also used to be a faux brick wall. That was really nasty. And then the refrigerator used to be built into that wall there. So that is kind of all gone. None of it was original. It was done probably in the 70s or the 80s. And just didn't really add anything to the house. So coming into the back room, this will be our library. Right now it's, you know, our plans for it is it's kind of Josh's man cave. A really awesome man cave. But there were floors in here that didn't match the rest of the house, so we went ahead and got pine floors in here, and then where we had to do a lot of patches in the main part of the house, we actually used those are bundles of fir. That stuff was stupid expensive, so we used that to patch in over there so it looked great. And then in here, since it's all new, we just did pine. But again, if you remember from the other videos, there used to be this weird built-in thing that housed the refrigerator from the kitchen on the other side. So we just took all of that out and we're gonna do built-ins at some point. But for now, we just cleaned it up. And that little box there, so we had to add a return vent. So we went ahead and just boxed it in there. And back porch area, nothing changed here. That's gonna be phase 2 or 3 for us, but just not right now. Oh, you guys, this scope creep is like real when you're doing an old house, because you pull stuff apart and you realize, hey, I'm never gonna really be putting all of this back together again like this. It's never gonna be this dirty, so why don't I just like do everything that I wanna do now? So here's what we've done so far with the house since you saw the last video. We finished demo, we framed, we completely rewired all of the electrical for the house, we completely redid all of the plumbing,
for the areas that we're redoing now. We didn't do the master bathroom area because we're gonna be redoing all of that. We redid all the insulation. There was no insulation in the crawl space. There was no plastic down. There was no insulation in any of the exterior walls, and there was hardly anything in the attic. So like literally this thing is so warm now. It's incredible. It's really great. We also redid all of the ductwork and put in a new HVAC unit because when they went to hook everything back up, they told us that our house would start on fire unless we did. So that was really fun. And we also had the floors patched. There were a lot of areas where they had drilled holes for weird plumbing, or we had a return vent. All of our return vents were in the floor, and I absolutely hate that. So we patched everything up, put the return vents in the wall. Did that. We drywalled, obviously. Oh, and they put trim up. Let me show you what we did for trim.
So the thought before doing all of this was that we were going to have someone recreate the original baseboards that we had and make a bunch more, because there had been a lot of walls torn out and there was a bunch of trim that didn't match. And honestly, we really only had 2 rooms with original baseboards. So I got bids to have it redone and made to match, and it was gonna be like 3 months and like $11 a linear foot, and we just couldn't do that. And quite honestly, I wanted something a little bit beefier than what was here. It was pretty simple before. So what we did, our friend Brandon, who is awesome, kind of helped us with this. We used an 8-inch, a 1x8 board here on the bottom, and then we used a like window and door casing molding and put that on top. And then I found this cute little guy here, and what we did is we just kind of used that to help cover the seam. And once this is caulked and painted with an oil-based paint, it's gonna look original to the house, but it was just gonna be way too labor intensive and expensive to make something that matched. And what I did instead is the original baseboards had it was a triple waterfall on the bottom, and that went up, and then it had like a little double waterfall. So we kind of did this to mimic what we had before, but redid the baseboards, and we had enough trim that we could go ahead and just kind of keep what we originally had. So it's this casing here, and then it's got the little rosettes on the top, which are pretty kind of like typical of this era home. And we thought the picture rail up at the top was original. It was not. It was put on after they drywalled over everything, and it definitely wasn't original. So what we did, and it was just like boards and brick molding, it wasn't even like functional. So we had them put down a little 1x3, and then we got actual picture rail and put it on top of that to build it out and make it a little beefier. And I can actually get little hangers now and use it, whereas we couldn't before. So we redid that in this big room so that everything looked cohesive, and then redid it in the entryway too. But yeah, that is the house right now. It's coming along. We've got paint prep this week, and then what they're gonna do is go ahead and start painting. Then we'll refinish the floors, and then we'll finish up the electrical and install the kitchen bathroom fixtures. And yeah. Oh, other big thing is that you're gonna notice we did take down the mantle that was in here, and I'll tell you why. So I'll try to throw a clip in here so you can see what it looked like before. But we had a mantle, and then what they did is, Hobby Lobby special, they got like furniture legs and stuff and kind of stacked up another double mantle to make it kind of look like this one. So it didn't work though. It was really bad. So I knew that I for sure wanted to take down the top piece, and we took that down. And then took off the mantle. And something that was actually like super cool, my friend Stacy was helping me.
we found a bunch of stuff from from that one, it was like 1940s, 1950s. And so we're like, hey, I wonder if there's some other stuff. So we took down the other 3 mantles from the studio and the bedroom, and we found some crazy cool stuff, like original receipts from a general store from 1898. We found letters from sisters and aunts. It's pretty cool. I'll have to pull out the collection and show you, and I want to get them framed and everything. But once we took all of this down, I mean, it looked really nice and clean. And the island is going to be like 3 feet off of here. And once we have stools, we realized if we put a mantle back up, it's going to be really tight in here. So we made the call to keep it off. And also, my friend Stacy, who is the bomb, she figured out, hey, the nails that they used to put this mantle on and the one in the bedroom were not hand-forged nails, which means they were like after like 1920s era. So we now know that those mantles aren't original to the house, and it makes sense. They look a little bit more craftsman bungalow cottage, whereas the really sweet one in here and the one in the studio actually look a lot older and more Victorian. And the mantle matches some of the little pieces on the front door. So that's kind of fun. I love that type of artistry, but something that's going to be super fun is I have to try and figure out how to get this paint off this brick. And so far, all I've been able to research and find out is that I'm going to have to do it by hand, or we're going to have to rough it up and do something to kind of make it look like an old sign on like the side of a building or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All I know is I'm not repainting over it because I love my brick too much. So that's the house tour. I hope next time I show this to you guys, it'll be painted. Okay, quick side note. I literally feel like every single time I go on the front porch, people are walking by, and I feel super self-conscious about holding a little gimbal in my phone and talking. So that's why I like ran back inside. People walking by.
We have the most walkable neighborhood ever, so people are always out walking around. And it is 70 degrees, and it's the beginning of February. So everyone is out walking around. It's pretty great. I love it.
Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Go to the Instagram. I post fun little things and update that way more frequently than videos. But I'm glad you stopped by to see our cool house. Peace, bye.